In revitalization neighborhoods across Toronto, youth are stepping up and getting involved. The 5 youth leaders we are profiling are making positive change through their community involvement.
The difference that I made is I in my community was I created a dance group from the ages 10 to 14. I started the dance group in 2013. In the summer, we would have those summer talent shows on the stage over there, and we would see other dance groups come from other communities, and we would just we'll be upset because we'll be we know we can dance, so we want to show them that what Lawrence Heights is about. I know that the kids loved it, and people come up to them and be like, "Oh, you guys did really good." So our first performance was in the Lawrence Heights Community Center. Most of the adults were there. They would hold events, so they would want us to come, and then the more people heard about us, the more more shows we had.
The dance group, TCHC, performed at the Limitless Heights Scholarship Dinner in Lawrence Heights. These scholarships recognize the leaders who have made important contributions to their community.
They enjoyed our show, and they told us that they want to see more of us. We just want to show people what Lawrence Heights is about.
We love to dance!
Woo! All right.
My mom, she works in the community, and she always tells me about opportunities, and she's like, okay, you should really go and try to interview for this, this position as an ambassador. And I was like, okay, I've got nothing to lose, so I tried it and I got it.
Regent Park was one of the first sites to start the revitalization process in Toronto. Najat is one of the many youth in Regent Park who have added their voices to the process. As a youth ambassador, she is making a real difference in her community.
In the beginning, we just learned about Revite and every aspect of it. And then towards the middle, we started working towards a youth forum to inform the youth about what's going on and just to answer all their questions and concerns that they had. We got to learn about how to properly write letters for sponsorships, for example, because we had to get sponsorships for the forum. So we learned how to do that, and my group that I was part of, we got split up into different groups for planning of the forum. So my group was logistics, so I got to get down to the nitty-gritty of how to plan forum and how many people would be attending, how much food you'd need, So after RYA was finished, our boss of RYA, she works in the community. She told us about this position called the community animator. So I applied for that and I got that, and it's essentially animating the community. You're facilitating programs and working with community members. I really like that because I get to be involved and I get to know what's going on. It's good to get your voice heard and to have your ideas, your input, and to see your vision come to life. And even if you won't be here, it's you're giving a good opportunity for other people. Say you work at McDonald's and you go to work and flip burgers and you're a cashier. It's not really impacting your daily life other than it's your job. But when you work in your community and that what you're doing is going to make a change, then you feel more passionate and more dedicated about your job.
Revitalization creates opportunities for skills training and employment. Mohammed Golan got involved as a community animator in Allenberry Gardens. He now works for FRAM as a site supervisor.
Yeah, so we went, my mom and myself and my brothers went to the Revite meeting. They showed us an idea of how the area looked like. Everything was still in the rough stages and nothing was concrete. So when they first started, they showed us what they plan on doing there. And at the end, they told us about job opportunities. So FRAM had a couple of job offers, job descriptions available, and I took one. I applied, I got a phone call in, I went in for an interview sometime in March, and then last week of my school, when I was finishing Seneca College, I get the call saying I got hired. My job description was site administrator first, but now they've changed it a little bit, where now I have some safety responsibilities, I also have service responsibilities, so I do the service in this building. Well, when they first started with revitalization, I worked with head office during the whole planning act, during the whole planning process, right? I seen that package go together for the city, and there I realized, how the area would be shaped. The details of how the building looks like were still up for grabs, but a good firm grasp of what the area will look like. Being on this site, there's plenty of opportunities. And then when Allenbury picks up, that's another 5 buildings plus the 12 or 20 townhouse blocks, I can't remember. So while there's more work for us, that means we need to start hiring more people to oversee the sites.
Duran Grant is a youth leader from Alexandra Park who is also making a real difference in his community.
I've been quite a big part of the Revite. I've done some of the surveys and stuff like that to figure out what the plans would be. I have worked at the community center for a while before I started construction. I've been a board member, so I was also a part of the revitalization. Kind of want to see kids have stuff that I didn't have, opportunities that I didn't have. That's why I got involved with community development. A lot of kids push for a lot of green space and a lot of area to do their thing, to have fun. One big thing was that we didn't want high towers because usually the condos would go on the outside of the area, right? And if they're pretty high, they'll block out all the sunlight and it would be quite a dark place, right? So that was one of the things that us as youth we pushed for. Tridel is the builder that's going to be building the first building for Alexandra Park. As a part of their contract, they had to help some of us become employed, but Tridel's actually taken a few of us and hired us and taught us what we need to know, right? I started off as an apprentice. I started off making just under $18. I've been there for going on 2 years now. It is going to be a permanent thing for me. I'm a laborer. I'm unionized with Local 183. Well, I hope I get a job building Alexandra Park, not just because it's close to home, but it's where I grew up, and I like to have a part in actually building, the community that maybe by the time everything's finished, I may not live here anymore, but it's still where home is, So I would not have gotten the job unless I was involved with the Revite process. I'm very happy with where I am right now.
Youth are also making positive change by advocating for community programs and services.
At a younger age, maybe grade 6, 7, I wasn't necessarily that involved. I never felt like my input was valid enough to put out there. Somebody nominated me to become tenant rep in my community, in Neptune community, and I fought against it. I was like, no, I can't do it. I'm scared. I'm too shy to talk out or whatever. I was voted in, and we had a few people running, so I was the only youth running. And after I got voted in and just becoming a part of that experience really opened up my eyes. Feel like I could do anything, right? And just going to those meetings and advocating on behalf of my community and, bringing my points to those meetings and seeing that they were actually valid, seeing that people actually appreciated that I was coming out and speaking, really made me think, like, how many of people in our community are silenced? How many people have great ideas? How many people have great, ideas and are creative but feel silenced, feel like their ideas are not good enough? How I got involved in food justice is Jada Man. He was trying to find ways to really advocate for things to do with food security. They heard that I sing, so that I got incorporated into this song. And I did a song.
Self-sustainability is a necessity.
The UCAN mentoring program is as it says, mentoring program that is done between teen and children mentorship. So our kids at UCAN, or our UCAN mentoring program, come from John Palani and Flemington. Through my connections and through my experience in being involved in the community, building a lot of experience, being a part of a lot of trainings that have happened in the community, just being an advocate for my community, I think that's what got me into the job. I was involved in revitalization. I was really involved in a lot of the meetings, a lot of the outreach that was put forth to get residents to come to those meetings. I was a part of also, and I think revitalization is a great experience, and I think that the community can benefit a lot for it, but we need to speak out on what we want, and I think we are doing a great job of that, but I would love to see the youth speak out more. So that's one of the goals that I've always had, and that is one of the things that I will always push for, is for the youth to always have a voice, because this is their future.